Hello world, you folks know who it is. Once again, it's your favorite Philly neighborhood realtor, DC the Realtor. Today I'm coming to you from a city known as San Jacinto, California. San Jacinto, if you don't know San Jacinto, folks, it borders on Hemet, right? Which would be south of Beaumont and Banning. It would be north of Temecula, Marietta, right? It would be east of, let's say, Menifee, Lake Elsinore, so on and so forth. Today, folks, we are here at another premier Southern California builders representation of what they call good living. All right, I ain't gonna tell you their name, but this builder is one of my favorite builders because of how they present, not only how they present their product, but the space that it allots you for the money. You're gonna see what I'm saying. When we get inside, when you see the floor plan, when you see the backyard, you're gonna be like, okay, Derek, okay, DC, you got it. All right then, so let me pause this for a second. Alrighty, and across the way there, what you're looking at, I'm gonna show you 3 models, all right then, that are being shown here, obviously, at this place. These bad boys are gonna be going from the mid 4s to the low 5s, okay? And they range in square footage from 1,800 square feet roughly to 2,500 square feet. I just came out of the smallest one, and you'd be surprised at how spacious it is, how nicely they arranged it. The floor plan is very convenient and very conducive, right, to making it, you know, livable and expansive, so that you can really appreciate the space. Okay, folks, so we're gonna go on in now. We're gonna take a look. All right then, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right then, we're gonna go on now to the first model, and we're gonna have a look. Alrighty, folks, so what we're working here, right, is a 1-story we're working with, 3 to 4 bedrooms with an optional den, right? It's 2 baths, it's a 2-car garage. All right, then we're gonna make our way into this plan here. This plan here, like I said, 1,800 square feet roughly, 1,851 square feet. All right, then as we enter, right away, we're greeted by our open concept. To the right of me here is the garage access, and bada bing, bada boom, folks, look what we have here. Here is our open concept. Once again, we are in San Jacinto, California. This home is roughly 1,800 square feet. It's a 1-story, 3 to 4 bed, 2 bath, 2-car garage home with an optional den off of the master. Look what we have here, folks. Let's start off with a bang. Let's take it right to the living area. Here's your living area, and as you can see out those beautiful bay windows, there's a nicely sized backyard, pretty ample, all right then. And just off of the living area here, we have our dining area, money shot, all right then. We'll get to the kitchen when we come back from this backyard here. I want to be able to give you a nice money shot of the backyard. Let's take it on out to the backyard. Here we are. So, what I always say about this particular builder, I always toot their horn in regards to the space that they provide you in their backyards, folks. This particular builder gives you your money's worth. They don't skimp on the backyards. Like I always say, you're gonna be purchasing a 3, 4 bedroom home, right? You're not gonna be living by yourself here. It's gonna be a family situation, and I'm telling you right now, this backyard will absolutely be conducive to a situation like that. Look what we have here, folks. Look what we have here. All right then, I'd like to give you an idea about the spaciousness here. All right then, so you can see, right, that table right there, seating 6. They've got it paved somewhat. They've even got, you know, a grass situation here, and they have a patio set here, 1, 2, 3, that could also seat 6, 7. Giving you an idea of what that space is like. Once again, this is a very handsome 1-story. As you can see, even the backyard, she's aesthetically pleasing. All right then, from the back view of the home. All right then. And the good news about 1-story homes is, you see that AC unit there? Well, the idea is that you got less space to cool as opposed to 2 floors. So economically, they're more efficient than 2 stories, right? Also, if you happen to be, you know, elderly or you have issues with walking, well, there's no stairs here. Get it? Even maintenance is easier because there's no window, no two-story windows. So cleaning the eave and all that stuff is window. Cleaning your windows are also easier than with one story. And you still have, than with two stories, excuse me. And you still have lots of square footage here in this home. This backyard, like again, once again, like I said, conducive to a family situation, right? Most builders try to skimp on the backyards, give you less space so they can build more homes, right? This builder, they don't do that. They give you your fair share, more than your fair share of backyard space for you to enjoy also, as well as the interior. Now, alrighty folks, as always, I just want to take this time to recommend to you that, listen, you absolutely want to come into these situations with an advocating for you that is a real estate agent like myself. Okay then, just like you wouldn't go to a court without a lawyer, you absolutely do not want to come into these situations. New builds, model homes, leasing agents, you don't want to come into a situation like that without someone there to represent you. Just like you wouldn't go to court without a lawyer, you definitely don't want to come into a situation like this. Real estate, there's a lot going on. All right, without someone there to advocate for you and represent your interests solely, with that being their main purpose. Okay, folks, thank you very much. On to the rest of the video. What I was waiting to do was I wanted to give you the money shot of the master kitchen, which is usually one of the most desired areas of the home. Most folks desire that the master, that the gourmet, that the kitchen, right, be state of the art, have lots of size, and nowadays folks are looking for also the open concept that also goes along with this. As you can see here, man, money shot. Look at our gourmet kitchen. All right, then those countertops are granite, and you can see there's 3 tables, there's 3 chairs at this at this island. And let me say something, this is a pretty sizable island, all right, as islands go. All right then, so as you can see, there's windows, lots of natural lighting coming in, window over the sink. I always like that myself. Another view of the backyard here through this other window. All right then, state-of-the-art appliances. Once again, folks, if you watch my videos, you know I always point out, I want to make you aware, right, full disclosure, that the refrigerators, folks, do not come as part of new builds, okay though? But you will get the stove, you will get the microwave, and in most cases, there is a dishwasher as well, okay folks? So look what we have here. We have lots of cabinet space, right, up high and beneath, right then. Again, state-of-the-art Whirlpool appliances. Everyone knows that Whirlpool is a good product. Of course, there's storage underneath the island. And let's get another view of the open concept here. That's what this particular floor plan is called. Nowadays, you won't find a new home is rare that's not having this concept. All right then, open concept is the thing of the day. We also have a storage closet here for the dishes, groceries, and whatnot. Once again, here's a view of the kitchen, dining area, living room. Now let's make our way to the bedrooms, etc. All right then. So straight ahead here, you're going to note that there's a space that they want to designate as an office. We'll go there in a second. No, as a matter of fact, we're going to go there right now. I'm sorry, we're going to go there right now. That was the master bedroom I started to head into. I like to save that for last. Here is, folks, our den, optional den. Could also be a bedroom. There's a window here. So one thing they need is a closet, and this could actually be a bedroom. All right then. But they've elected to, how can I say, show this as an office space, and I would say they've done a pretty good job of representing it as such. Also, folks, just want to inform you that there are currently down payment assistance programs available, not just for first-time home buyers, but for second, third-time home buyers as well. FHA and conventional type loans. Those programs are out there. There's information on the bottom of the screen. Feel free to give those folks a call. Give me a call. I can do the best I can to answer your questions, or directly to someone else who can. Okay then? Thank you. All right then, so we're gonna make our way out of the den, optional den / bedroom, and we're gonna take it now down the corridor, and we have a bedroom to our right here. Look what we have here, folks. All right then. And what I like about this particular residence is the natural light that's flowing through. All right then. So all of the residents on this side of the street is going to have the same kind of angles as far as sunlight, so on and so forth. So as far as cooling your home, as far as the lighting is concerned, all right, then you're going to get pretty much what you're seeing here, as long as you're on this side of the street, obviously, right? All right then, so that's our first bedroom. And here is the second bedroom. Here we go. What we have here. Let me give you another angle of the bedroom. So let's spin it around at this beautiful bay window they have here. And look, folks, we have us a mirrored closet here. All right then. And as we make our way out, there's yet another bedroom off to the right. I'm sorry. This is a full bath that we have off to the right here. As you can see, very well staged. All right then, the hardware, everything in this bathroom. This building right here, they don't spend any expense as far as trying to make you understand that they're serious about what they're doing. They're serious about gaining your business. All right then, they want you to be able to imagine yourself living here in the lap of luxury is how they try to stage it. And I would say again, they do a pretty good job of doing just that. Here is our laundry room. So must point out, washers and dryers typically do not come as part of a new build situation. All right then, but if you're dealing with a savvy realtor like myself, we might be able to, in a lot of cases, negotiate these into your deal. All right then, using something called leverage. All right then, and a little skill as far as negotiating is concerned. All right then, that happens to be my specialty. Give me a call, and I'll see what I can do as far as having it so that you can have those in your unit. But once again, typically they're not included. All right, pretty spacious laundry room, as laundry rooms go. All right, we're gonna make our way out of the laundry room, and we're gonna make our way straight ahead to the master. So as I like to always say, the master for last, right? The two most important places in a home, in my opinion, are the master bedroom. There she is, folks, and the kitchen. All right, of course, the master bath, part of that master situation. So here's another angle of the bedroom, the master bedroom, right? We have a walk-in closet over here. What's a master bedroom without a walk-in closet? All right, let's spin around and come on out. All right. Again, another view of that bedroom. Let me give you yet another view. Let's spin around and give you another view of the master from those beautiful windows that we saw just a few seconds ago. All right, then now we're going to take it into the master bath. As you can see as we approach, there's dual sinks, right? They even have space here for storage, right? Very nice shower setup here with the seats on either side. That's always good, right? Who don't like to sit when they take a shower? And there's plenty of storage underneath from sink here. There's a his and her situation. And of course you have your actual restroom area off to the side here. Alrighty then. Alright then, folks. So, social media. You can find DC the Realtor on TikTok. I am dc.the.realtor. And on Instagram, I'm DCW the Realtor. Of course, you're watching me now on YouTube. I'm just plain old DC the Realtor. Okay, folks? So, please don't forget to like, subscribe, right? Comment. All right then. All right then, folks. So do me a favor, please. If you like what you see in this video, please do me a favor. Or if you're interested in purchasing something else, do me a favor. Just call the number at the bottom of the screen. I'll be happy to help represent you in finding another property or getting you into this one as well. Okay then. Like I said, you absolutely want to have a representative advocating for your interests. Okay then. I'm here for you. Take it easy. God bless. We're gonna give you one last fell swoop of the open concept living room, dining room, spacious backyard, and kitchen as we depart. And as always, I want to say thank you for watching. You could be anywhere in the world doing anything, and you're watching my channel. Greatly appreciate it. All right then, one last view of the exterior as we depart, folks. Alrighty, folks, there she is. That's our last view of this plan. 1,800 square feet roughly, 3 to 4 bedrooms. As you can see, she's a single story, right? And she's going to be going at a starting price of, they're starting in the mid fours. This particular one is $456K. Okay, if I neglected to mention, $456K specifically, mid fours. This one is starting at. Let me spin it around. Alrighty, folks. So once again, thank you for watching. I always say, thank thank you, because you could be anywhere doing anything, but just here watching my video. And like I said before, greatly appreciate it, okay? If you like what you see, if you want to see this home or anything else in Southern California, all right, then give me a call. My number's at the bottom of the screen. I'll be happy to help you, whether it's a resale, whether it's a new build, so on and so forth. I'll be happy to represent you in that acquisition, okay? Take care. Have a good day.